Takes the mound here this afternoon. The Tigers getting set to take on the Indians, and really 1 through 5 in the Tigers rotation has gotten it done.
Well, it's really nice when you go through the entire rotation one time and you get guys going out there filling up the strike zone, throwing some pitches that are out of the zone and getting some wins. Pfister, he was a little erratic in his start, but it was his first start after missing a turn. But what can't you say about Scherzer and also the performance that Justin Verlander turned in last night? They've been outstanding.
The last two nights definitely magical here at the ballpark. And when you look at the Tigers starters over the last 5 starts, 33 innings, 27 punch-outs, only 9 walks, and an ERA of about 1.5, slightly over that. So they certainly have gotten it done. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here's the starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians this afternoon. It's presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Shin-Soo Choo leads it off for the Tribe, followed by Jason Kipnis and Asdrubal Cabrera. Brantley batting cleanup. Russ Kanzler is up from AAA. Kochman at first. Carrera, Hanahan, and Marson, your bottom 3 for the Indians. And Anibal Sanchez getting set to make the start. He is presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
You see the 2 wins there for Sanchez since putting on a Tigers uniform. The first win came on August 3rd against this Cleveland Indians ball club right here at Comerica Park. He had an outstanding afternoon. He'll need to make sure he does all of that here today to get another W.
All right, so Sanchez takes the ball. We are ready for baseball. Tigers fresh off the sweep of the Chicago White Sox. And the first pitch of the ball game is outside to Shin-Soo Choo. Choo and Kipnis and Cabrera.
And Choo had the day off yesterday. Their club played a game in Cleveland, and Manny Acta did not start Choo in that game.
Driven in the air to deep left, but playable. Backing up is Dirks, and we have one gone.
So Choo should have those fresh legs today. Let's take a peek at the Beaumont Health System defense here today. Quentin Berry getting a rare start out in center field. The catcher today is Alex Avila. Fielder and Svante Peralta Cabrera are in the infield, just as they are on most evenings, or most days, I should say.
Quick turnaround, which means Jackson gets the afternoon off today, and certainly appreciative of that. Quentin Berry has done a terrific job, so he gets a chance to get a ball game under his belt.
It's almost going to be like 2 days off for Jackson because they play tomorrow night, so he'll get tonight off as well and the entire day tomorrow.
Here's Jason Kipnis. He looks at a strike, and the count evens now at 1-1. Kipnis at 255. He's hit 13 home runs this year, batting in the 2 slot for Manny Acta. And this is a Tribe team that just finished a 10-game homestand in which they lost 8 of the 10. They have really struggled in the second half. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Driven to center field on a line, and it's going to drop. Base hit right in front of Quentin Berry. 1-out single for Kipnis. And that'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. Kipnis a threat to run with his 26 steals. Cabrera batting .270. And his numbers have leveled off here in the second half. Was an all-star this year.
He's playing injured right now. He's got an injury with his right wrist. He's not 100%, but he's good enough to play.
And he shoots one toward left, slicing, foul.
He told me earlier today that he hurt his wrist during batting practice. You don't usually hear guys with getting injured while taking batting practice.
Well, this may be the result. 242 in the second half, only 3 home runs. The power numbers down. But Cabrera still out there batting in the 3 slot for Manny Acta. Quick throw by Sanchez, runner back. The 26 stolen bases by Kipnis is good for 6th in the American League. And a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kipnis pretty much has been their best player all year long. You talked about the batting average. He's got some power numbers, hits doubles, steals bases, and has really gotten better playing that second base position.
Well, he's been one of the bright spots this season. What's going on with Valverde there?
A new look.
Pick out the park. It's Wednesday, not today. There's a high fly ball to right field. Cruising under it is Bosch. And there are two gone.
I guess Papa Grande is getting an early start on Pink Out the Park.
Yes. Yes, he is. Always making a fashion statement. Got the gold tail.
And as long as they keep shaking hands after he takes that mound in the ninth inning, it's all good.
Here is Michael Brantley now. Brantley hitting with 2 outs. And he chops one to first. It's a foul ball.
I told you that Chu, their leadoff hitter, had the afternoon off yesterday. Michael Brantley also had the day off. They've been pressing so hard. Chu and Brantley, guys that are usually in there every single day. And that losing takes its toll on you. Every now and then you need to get your better players away from the game for a day.
Cleveland has won just 12 games in the second half. There's a ball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brantley in the cleanup slot, batting .284 overall this year. Although when he hits fourth, he's hitting only .203 as you look at the numbers on Manny Acta in his 3rd season as the Tribe skipper. And this is back-to-back years now. The Indians had gotten off to a good start. Good first couple of months, and then the second half rolls around and it's been a much different story. They of course have missed some of their bigger players. Sizemore and Hafner. Chisenhall's been hurt. There's a strike on Brantley. 1-2. Two out of the first inning. Indians have a runner at first. Kipnis draws another throw. Well, they say it is 81 degrees right now here at the ballpark. Seems a little bit more warm than that.
It does feel warmer than that today.
2-2 on Brantley, who earlier this year had a 22-game hitting streak. That was back in late May.
He's kind of come into his own this year. Kind of solidified himself a spot for next season.
Sliced back out of play. 2-2 the count remains. Well, if we go back to May 17th, here's what the standings look like in the Central. That's on the right, and now what they look like on the left.
It's pretty much the exact same thing that the Cleveland Indians went through last year. And they played really good baseball out of the gate. They were in first place for the first 2.5 months, and then they just kind of crumbled down the stretch.
Well, the Indians, as we mentioned, lost 8 of 10 on the recent homestand. They have not won a series in their last 11. They've lost 10 series and have tied 1. Runner goes on 2-2, and it's hit in the hole, left side of the infield, base hit. Kipnis on his way to third. He's in there standing up, and Michael Brantley has a single. First and third now with 2 outs.
A nice piece of hitting here by Michael Brantley, taking the 2-2 pitch the opposite way. Peralta, the shortstop, he was going over to cover the bag, but he was moving kind of slow, which is the way that you're supposed to move when you're going to cover the bag, because you don't want to vacate your position too early, and there was nothing that he could do. He could not get back to make the play on that ground ball. Hit right past him.
Here is Russ Kanzler, who spent the entire season up until now at AAA, and he fouls it straight back.
I was down on the field before the game watching this young man take some batting practice, and the ball makes a different sound off his bat. I mean, a big, strong, physical guy with real good numbers in AAA.
It made that sound 22 times at AAA, 22 long balls at Columbus. And a strike called on the inside part of the plate, 0-2.
He was also leading the International League in doubles with 36 and 79 RBIs at the time of his call-up.
Batting here with runners at first and third, 2 outs. And the 0-2. way high. It gets away, and they're going to try and score the run. Here comes Kipnis, and he is in there as Avila is unable to handle it. Both runners will move up, and the Indians have the 1-0 lead.
And fastball gets away from Sanchez. Avila goes up, gets glove on it, and then quickly gets down to find it, but could not get a handle to get the ball back to Sanchez, and Kipnis slides in with the first run of the game.
Pass ball charged to Avila as both runners move up. 1-0 Indians. Here's the 1-2. He got him. Strike 3 on the outer edge. Kansler is caught looking. Indians get a run. They strand a man as well, and here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first, Quentin Berry sits atop the Tigers starting lineup here this afternoon. It's presented by Big Boy. Berry, Dirks, Cabrera, your top three. Then Fielder cleaning up. Delman, boy, he's been red hot. He's the DH. Then Bosch in right. You've got Peralta, Avila, and Infante, your bottom three for the Tigers. Meanwhile, Corey Kluber will get the start today for the Indians, presented by Fox Toyota, Rochester Hill.
And Kluber had pretty nice numbers at Columbus, their AAA affiliate, but making his 7th start at the major league level, and he is still looking for his first major league win. 26 strikeouts for Kluber and 29 in 2/3 innings pitched. Fastball about 93 to 94. He's got a couple different breaking balls and a changeup.
That'll bring up Quentin Berry to lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning, and Quentin looks at a strike. He's just 2 for his last 22 at bats, but getting the start here this afternoon. And Kluber's 0-1 pitch. Missed it high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just glad to hear Leland say before the game today that he felt even though Jackson deserved the rest, that just as much Berry deserved to get a game here because of what he's done for the ball club this year. And he slices one on the ground to short. Going to be a tough play for Cabrera. His throw not in time, and an infield hit for Quentin Berry.
It's a real good sign to see Q do this in his very first at bat, because when he does hit the ball on the ground and the infielders have to move laterally to their left or their right, usually it's going to be a base hit. That is a great acrobatic play by Cabrera, their shortstop, who does that with regularity, but Q way too fast. Anybody else on their team, and that's an out.
Yeah, and a great play by Asdrubal Cabrera, but as it turns out, it's an infield hit.
Well, more than likely, Q will be on the move. He has not been thrown out, attempting to steal a base since he's been in the big leagues.
Andy Dirks settling in, batting a solid .333. A couple of RBIs this year against Indians pitching. Kluber waiting an extra beat before he delivers it outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Morrison has a really good throwing arm, so apparently his pitchers aren't giving him time to throw this year because his arm is much better than 9%.
Here's the 1-0, and it's a strike call. 1-1.
I was talking to Andy Dirks a couple of days ago about batting second and whether Jackson's on first or Quentin's on first base, and what is the determining factor on whether he'll take a pitch and let them steal or whether he tries to hit that hole on the right side of the infield. And he simply told me he looks at the signs to see what Jim puts on or whether Gene Lamont gives the green light. He said he can see out of the corner of his eye when the base runner takes off, and if he does see the base runner take off, he will usually take that pitch until he has 1 strike on him. He says once he has 1 strike, he says, I'm swinging.
Pulled in the air, foul down the right field line, which has always amazed me, Rod, because you have enough time to peripherally see if the runner is going and then still keep your focus on the pitcher and decide whether or not you want to swing.
You know, that's because he has a very simple approach. There's not a lot of moving parts. His head directly facing the pitcher with both eyes focused on the pitcher, and because of that and the simple approach, he can pretty much see what's going on, and that's why that batting average is way up there at 333.
Lifted in the air toward left. Ezekiel Carrera is under it, and Barry heads back to first base. 1 gone. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Miggy for MVP.
There has been a lot of MVP chants going on here this homestand for 3 days against the Chicago White Sox.
It's getting to that point of the year now where you're getting into September, and the stretch run obviously will make a big difference, but when you look at Cabrera's numbers, they are really starting to pile up now.
He's looking like he might have a chance to win another batting title too.
Agreed, which we thought was probably not going to happen with the year that Mike Trout was having, but it's getting close. 111 RBIs for the Tigers' third baseman. Cabrera's knocked in 5 in his last 6 games. The 1-0 outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, here's some of the guys in the MVP conversation. You've got Hamilton, of course, who performs for the Texas Rangers. You have Mike Trout as well with a monster year. Cabrera, he might be the front runner as we speak.
Well, Kluber ready with a 2-0. And Cabrera takes a strike, 2-1.
Adrian Beltre has gotten himself into the conversation with a monster month of August.
He's hitting a lot of home runs. Great defensive player at third as well. 2-1 on Cabrera. There goes the runner. Here comes Marson's throw. The tag, not in time. Quentin Berry is 18 for 18.
Quentin Berry is one of the few guys in the American League when they take their first step, their full speed. As soon as he takes that little lean and then that little crossover, then he takes that left arm with him, and that's how he gets great jumps, and he's very difficult to throw out. I mean, if you're a pitcher that's anywhere from 1-3 to 1-4 as far as getting the ball to home plate, your catcher will have no chance at throwing Berry out.
Meanwhile, 3-1 on Cabrera. And there is ball 4. He gets the walk. Ooh, that was close. He got him on the foot. But Berry swipes his 18th. So one thing Leland said before the game, you put Quentin in there. It's a day game after a late night, emotional night last night. He gives you some energy. He might get on base, steal a bag. You never know. That's precisely what has happened. And now he has set up Prince Fielder, who bats with 2 on. There's a ball outside, 1-0. thing about Fielder that continues to amaze is, for as much as a power hitter as he is, he's still very difficult to strike out. The 7th hardest in the American League to strike out. And he is hit on the pitch.
He has been getting hit a lot lately. That is the 3rd time he's been hit in the last 3 games.
That'll load the bases. Ouch. Side of the knee. So the Tigers have him loaded now. And Kluber in some big time trouble as Delmon Young stands in. Still only 1 out. And ball 1 misses inside. Delmon batting .276. His number's starting to climb now. First inning have really given Kluber some trouble. 11 runs allowed in the first inning.
Well, it looks like the Tigers are going to tack 1 or 2 more onto that total here.
Delmon finds a gap. They might get 3. That's it for a strike. 2 and 1.
It's a beautiful thing when you get a chance to peek at that triple split in the first inning on Labor Day.
Didn't take long to bust it out.
Gotta love it.
Here's the 2-1. Ball high, 3-1, and there's no base unoccupied here for Young. The collar is tightening now on Corey Kluber, the 26-year-old out of Jacksonville, Florida. Bosch waiting on deck. Delmon takes a swing and slices it back into the seats. 3-2. What's it like to be sitting in the batter's box with the bases loaded and a 3-1 count?
It's where you like to be. And I was a little surprised that Delmon was tardy on that 3-1 fastball. Usually in that count, a guy like Delmon, who loves to hit fastballs, he would have been out in front of that one. Must be tough to pick Kluber up.
3-2. Delmon staying alive. Young now with 61 RBIs. He has really come on, and it's exactly what the Tigers have needed here down the stretch. In his last 24 games, he's been responsible for driving in 17 runs. Had the big homer in last night's game. And again the 3-2. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Berry scores. Cabrera will stop at third. It's a single, and the Tigers have tied it up.
Not a real good pitch sequence here by Kluber, nor a good calling by the catcher Marsden. Of the 6 pitches that Delmon saw in this pitch sequence, all of them were away. And that's a ball that's about 6 inches off the plate outside, but yet, because Delmon was looking out there and diving out there, he was able to spoil a pretty good pitch that Kluber made right there.
Everybody moves up on the base pass, 90 feet. Berry comes around to score.
And while we have a moment here, let's set the defensive alignment for the Cleveland Indians this afternoon. They have Carrera and Brantley and Chu in the outfield. The infield reads Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Kochman. And we told you that Lou Marsden is the catcher today for Corey Kluber.
So here is Bosch now. Bases remain loaded.
Brennan Bosch had a big knock yesterday against Chris Sale, the starter of the Chicago White Sox. Chris Sale has only given up 2 home runs this year to left-handed batters, and, well, you guessed it, Brennan's hit both of them.
Bouncing ball left side. This might be a double play. 5, 4, 3, and it is. They nipped him at the wire. Tigers settle for 1 run. On our way to the second here at Comerica, 1-1. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Dodge, take advantage of the great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. And by Kellogg, start school like a champion. You could win $100 instantly on specially marked packages. Back here in downtown Detroit, all tied at 1 as we go to the top of the second at the ballpark. Anibal Sanchez missing outside to Casey Kochman, who leads it off for the Indians.
Alex Avila is still learning Sanchez. Of course, the Tigers made a deal to acquire him at the trade deadline right at the beginning of August.
Pulled down the right field line, and that'll hook foul.
And it's a learning curve. I mean, first of all, Avila had to watch him on video, then catch some bullpens and kind of learn what pitches work best for Sanchez in certain situations. And Avila just admitted a couple of days ago he's just still finally trying to get to know him and what he likes to throw in certain situations.
Here's the 1-1. Well, when you acquire a guy in the offseason, that's what spring training is good for. You catch them over and over in spring camp and you get used to them. You learn their tendencies. But when you pick them up mid-season.
Yeah, when they acquired Sanchez, Avila, as a matter of fact, caught his first couple of bullpens, and usually starting catchers don't catch the bullpens in between starts when their starters are out there getting work, but they had to try to get to know each other.
2-2 on Kochman. He'll be followed by Carrera and then Hanahan here in the second. Hope your Labor Day weekend is going well. Tigers will try and pick up a win for you today. That's popped up left side of the infield, and Peralta hauls it in. 1 gone. By the way, this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. 1 out for Carrera. Ezekiel batting .278 with 1 home run. That home run was his first career long ball in the month of August. It came against Detroit. He hit one in extra innings against Joaquin Benoit. It remains his only homer this year. And he shoots this one high in the air to shallow right field. Bosch coming over, and 2 quick outs. That just sounded like a broken bat. Here's Jack Hanahan. 223 this year for Hanahan. It's been a really rough second half for him. He's batting under 200 in the second half.
He's had his issues with Tigers pitching as well. He is just 1 for 14.
Ball outside, 1-0. Hanahan, former Detroit Tiger, came up in their farm system. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in for a strike as Gary Cederstrom goes up with the right hand. This, by the way, is the same umpiring crew that umpired the Chicago series. Because of the quick turnaround today, they'll stick around another day and we'll get a new crew tomorrow. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back out of play.
Yeah, it probably would have been nearly impossible for this crew to leave here last night and get to wherever they needed to get to do their jobs today.
8 o'clock game here at the ballpark. Yeah, no shot. The 1-2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I didn't make it down here last night, but they said this place was rocking. I can only imagine.
That's what I heard. And it seemed that way. And anytime you get Verlander sailed, you knew it was going to be a big crowd, but it turned out to be a special ball game.
And Verlander on top of his game once again.
Drilled to center field. That's going to drop. Base hit. 2-out single for Hanahan.
Really a special weekend here with the White Sox in town. Tigers now occupy first place with the Chicago White Sox.
You know, we're getting to the point where we're anticipating a Scherzer start as much as we are a Verlander start. I mean, these two guys have been really, really good.
And it's almost getting to the point where Scherzer is going to get himself into that Cy Young conversation.
Well, the ERA continues to plummet. That's a good thing.
That's probably the only blemish, is the other guys that we're talking about possibly winning an ERA title in the American League. Their earned run averages are a lot lower than Max's, but he's been pitching like a Cy Young candidate for sure.
Lou Marson is standing in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Ranging right is Peralta. And Marson is out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Here comes the bottom of the second. For the Mazda scouting report, and want to check out how the Tigers have done at home since the 4th of July when we had the fireworks going off. Well, since the 4th of July, how about that team record for Detroit?
Well, fireworks have been going off since July 4th. 25-6 with a good batting average, and opponents average of just 243, and of course the team ERA is at 3.32. So they've played some really good baseball.
Averaging almost 10 hits a game at home here since the 4th of July. Big crowd here on hand this afternoon on a warm Labor Day here in the Motor City. Kluber back to work. And Peralta fouls it off Lou Marson. Peralta, Avila, and Infante here in the bottom of the second. Right off the left shoulder. Gary Cederstrom now will give Marson a few extra beats here to catch his breath and get the feeling back into that shoulder. Tigers a run on 2 hits. Indians a run on 3 hits. Peralta is batting .254. That's fouled back out of play. 0-2. Johnny 2 out of 11 in that series against the Chicago White Sox. Chicago back home as they play Minnesota, starting a series with the Twins. Breaking ball away, 1-2. It's funny how things can change so very quickly, Rod. I mean, after the sweep at the hands of Kansas City, a lot of folks down in the dumps, and all it took was 3 days to get them back even in the standings.
Yep. Enjoying their Labor Day holiday today.
That one just missed. 2-2. Tigers will finish up the homestand here against the Indians. Then it's the long road trip, the longest remaining. A 10-gamer coming up. There's a chopper to short. Cabrera on the backhand.
What?
1 out. It's going to bring up Avila. Corey Kluber was able to get through that first inning, allowing just 1 run. It looked like the Tigers might bust it open a bit, but he got the big double play off the bat of Brennan Bosch. Here's Avila batting .244. The Indians this year have lost in all 6 starts that Kluber has made, yet when you look at his numbers up and down, he's really only had 2 bad starts. The rest, he's kept his team in, but they just couldn't get enough runs.
No offense. Second half of the season, they're hitting under 200 with runners in scoring position.
The 0-1. Rolled foul.
You're not going to win many games if you're not getting clutch hits.
They have been few and far between for the Tribe. And Cleveland today starting a 10-game, 11-day, 3-city tour. Here's the 0-2. Avila cuts and misses. Down he goes. Strikeout for Kluber, his first of this ball game. 2 gone. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Omar Infante. Omar, good numbers against the Indians this year. In fact, he joined the team in Cleveland after the deal brought him over at the deadline. That's it for strike 1. Omar creeping up on 1,000 career hits now. He needs just 2 more. He might get there today. One ball, 1 strike. 1,000 big league knocks is nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not. That's a nice career. And he's in the prime of his career, so he's going to get a whole lot more.
Off the edge, 2-1 on Infante.
There might be a day when we're talking about Infante getting the 2,000 hits.
Here's Kluber's 2-1. A little bit outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And this is the count where Infante and most big league hitters do their best work. Predictable fastball counts, especially guys that have really good bat speed, and Omar would fall into that category.
Fouled back out of play, 3-2. So it's full with 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the second. Each team got a run in the first. Indians got their run on a passed ball. The Tigers got their run on a Delman Young RBI single. The 3-2 pitch on the ground is short. Now it's Drupal Cabrera. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kluber. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's new hot turkey roasters. It's the greatest thing since sliced roast beef. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, tied at 1 as we go to the top of the third now at the ballpark. Sanchez back to work, and his first pitch is in for a strike on Shin-Soo Choo. Top of the order coming up against Anibal. It'll be Choo, Kipnis, and Cabrera. Drilled back up the middle into center field. Soft line drive, a leadoff single. And that gives us a chance now to go back to the studio for a game break. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. Meanwhile, the Indians have put the leadoff man on here in the third. Jason Kipnis, the batter.
Not many night games on Labor Day, but the White Sox in Minnesota are playing under the lights.
It's almost like you should play a day game on Labor Day, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Here's the 0-1. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Johnny Peralta to the grass. And Kipnis is out.
I know the Detroit Tigers appreciate playing a day game today, even though they had a late night last night coming off the sweep of the Chicago White Sox. They play today. Get out of here by 4 o'clock, 4:30, and enjoy your families. Getting close to most of their kids have to go back to school, those that have kids that are of school age. So the dads won't get a chance to spend much time with their families the remainder of the way.
Here is Asdrubal Cabrera as Sanchez throws back to first, chasing Chu back. Shin Su this year has stolen 16.
As well as Avila has been throwing the baseball lately from that catcher's position, if Sanchez gives him time to throw, it's going to be difficult for Chu to steal a base here if he's entertaining the thought of running.
And he is. There he goes. Here's the throw. It's high into center field. Chu going to try and get the third, and Barry's throw is not in time.
Sanchez did not give Avila time to throw. Real good jump by Chu. You see him on the right. And because of that, Avila rushes his throw. Peralta can't get to it. Chu alertly realizes the ball's in center field, and before Q picks it up and gets it to third base, he is sliding into third.
Stolen base E2 on the throw. Infield coming in now for the Tigers. In a 1-1 ball game. Cabrera swings through it. 0-2 the count. Asdrubal flied out to right field his first time up. The Indians have had at least one base runner in every inning so far. Asdrubal Cabrera, an all-star each of the last 2 seasons. Smothered by the catcher Avila, 1-2.
And for whatever reason, in these particular situations, Cabrera has really struggled. And 9 of 24. He's been able to score that runner from third base less than 2 outs. And good for 38%.
Well, he has only 11 RBIs in the second half. Way outside, 2-2 the count. And from your number 3 hitters, certainly not getting it done. And Cabrera's been a pretty good RBI man. You got Brantley waiting on deck. Chu is at third base with 1 out. And the 2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. .43 pitches in this ball game now for Sanchez. Fouled off at home plate. Cabrera, counting his 0 for 1 today, is now 4 for his last 40. And really, when you go up and down the lineup, pretty much every guy in this lineup for Cleveland has not had a good second half, which has translated into just 12 victories in the second half. And again, the 3-2. Driven foul down the left field line. This will be the 8th pitch coming up in this at bat. Congratulations on that souvenir. Rolled foul. And for as much as the Indians have struggled this year, they still have a winning record against the Tigers this year. They've won 7 of the 12. Tigers have had more wins against everybody in the Central, with the exception of the Indians. Fouled away again. Indians earlier this season fired their pitching coach Scott Radinsky. Cleveland dead last in the American League with an ERA of 4.84. Sanchez having trouble putting Cabrera away, trying to deliver the go-ahead run here in the third. And he shoots that one toward left. Foul. He almost got it done. So the battle continues between Cabrera and Sanchez.
You can see the majority of the pitches that Sanchez has thrown to Cabrera have been away from him. And it looks like he's looking away from him. It might not be a bad time to, if you have confidence to do so, paint that inside corner with a fastball, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do.
Fouled it off. That makes 6 2-strike fouls now by Cabrera.
That may have been the best fastball that I have seen Sanchez throw since he has had that Tigers uniform on. It was 97 miles an hour, and it was at the knees, and it was located in a really good area.
The 11th pitch comes in at 97. And again the 3-2. Right back up the middle into center. What an at bat by Asdrubal Cabrera.
Tremendous.
He's going to drive in the go-ahead run. And it's 2-1 in favor of Cleveland.
He fouled off every single pitch that Sanchez has in his repertoire before getting the fastball up and hitting it right back up the box.
So the stolen base in the air setting up the run, and Cabrera cashes in with his 54th RBI of the year. Here's Michael Brantley. Even Sanchez taking too long.
If Sanchez is not any quicker than he was when Chu was on first base and Chu was able to steal second, and then more than likely Cabrera is going to steal a base as well. He's got to give Avila more time to throw.
Indians in their lineup today have 3 guys double digits in steals. That would be Chu, Kipnis, and Brantley. Cabrera down at first has 7 steals. Here's the 1-0. That's in for a strike. 1-1 on Michael Brantley. Singled back in the first. That put runners at first and third, but that's all that the Indians would do in that frame. There's a line drive hit to the shortstop. Snap throw back to first. Johnny catching the sizzling line drive off the bat of Brantley. 2 gone. Here's Russ Kanzler. Struck out against Sanchez in the first inning. 2 runs, 5 hits for Cleveland. 1 run, 2 hits for Detroit. Fouled away 0-1. Kanzler DHing today for the Tribe down at AAA. It played some first, some right, some left, and some third base as well. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That means he can really hit. When you're playing all those different positions in the minor leagues, they're finding a place for you to play so you can hit.
Well, and he hit last year as well. He was part of the Tampa system last year in their AAA affiliate at Durham. He was the International League's MVP. Follow that up with a terrific year this year. Runner going, and it's grounded foul.
how in the world does Tampa let any bats get out of their organization with the way that they struggle to swing the sticks?
Good question.
They can really pitch, but they kind of struggle swinging the bats.
Kanzler last year at Durham hit .314 with 18 homers. He followed that up with 22 more this year at AAA in the Cleveland system.
I think I know the answer to that question. Joe Madden is a stickler for defense.
No doubt.
You're not going to play for him unless you're a really good defender. And I'm not saying Kanzler is not, but he has played multiple positions in the minor leagues.
2-2 the count.
It's almost like with Joe Madden hitting the secondary. You got to be able to play some defense for him.
That really has been the emphasis there, along with their pitching staff, and they have ridden that into a chance of getting back into the playoffs again this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Indians have gone ahead with a run here in the top of the 3rd. Driven to center field. Quentin Berry is under it. And that'll be it for the Indians. However, they take the lead on the RBI hit by Cabrera.
Lineup decisions before today's game. He said he went back and forth about whether or not to give Austin Jackson the day off. He decided, since Austin has a good track record with the next 2 pitchers coming up, he said he'd sit him for today, and he also wanted to make sure that Quentin Berry felt like he was a part of the mix. He said he's not the forgotten soldier. He's been able to do some really great things for the Tigers we've already seen so far this game, so he wanted to make sure Quentin got a day in there. I talked to Quentin about it. I said, what's the first thing you do when you walk in the clubhouse in the morning? And he said, well, I go and check the lineup, and this morning I didn't see myself on there at first, and I thought, oh man, Skip forgot me. And then he realized he was starting. So he was very excited, said this last series with Chicago really got him excited to be out there, and of course excited to be playing in center today. Mario Rod?
All right, Shannon, thanks. And that's one thing that Q brings to this lineup, a little bit of excitement. And he brought it early in this game, singling, stealing a base, and scoring a run.
I guess what Q looks at when he looks at the lineup card, he looks at the bottom where the reserves are.
Right.
He doesn't look at the top of the batting order where Jackson is usually batting first.
He shows bunt. Did he offer? No, he didn't.
I know Quentin has gone through it quite a bit here lately before getting that last base hit, but his overall body of work since coming up to Toledo has been remarkable, and had it not been for him and what he did in that little span when Jackson was missing and the offense was sputtering along, this team would not be tied for first place right now.
No, they wouldn't. And sometimes I think you concentrate too much on what he does as a starter. But just the fact that he's on the bench and can come in as a defensive replacement, can come in and pinch run and steal a bag. I mean, that is value to a manager that can't be measured sometimes. He slaps that one foul, 3-2.
Now here's the infield single. This is when Quentin's at his best. You hit the ball on the ground and you run. And then you get on base, and then he's able to take second base with a steal. His 18th consecutive steal of the year. And then he scampers home on a base hit the opposite way by Delman Young.
That's what he does best. Slaps another one foul down the left field line.
It's a feel-good story.
6.5 years in the minor leagues. We're wondering if he would ever get a shot. There were times when he was playing well in the minors, but then went through some injuries that set him back. This year had a great spring camp, and he tips it into the glove for strike 3. One gone.
Hey fan, every game counts. Don't miss the Tigers as they battle the Oakland A's September 18th through 20th. Their only trip to Comerica Park this year. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. I don't know if Brandon Inge will be occupying a plane seat when they come to Detroit. He's on the disabled list.
He's DL'd.
I mean, he may still make the trip, but I was looking forward to seeing Brandon.
Shoulder surgery, and apparently he knew it had been separated, but took an at bat anyway and doubled in a couple of runs, and then that was it.
Well, I watched after he separated the shoulder, he put it back in socket by himself while playing defense.
I don't even want to think about that. That's some toughness right there.
Good man.
Andy Dirks fouls it away 0-2.
And I've talked to several people regarding that entire Oakland A's situation. We saw Oakland early this year, and they weren't a very good team at the time. They said the minute that Brandon Inge walked into their clubhouse and his leadership skills on and off the field, that team just took off.
The 0-2. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I mean, certain teams need a player like Brandon Inge.
Well, it certainly has come together for them. They've gotten some really good pitching. Josh Reddick's had a good year as well. Here's the 1-2, and it's on the corner. Strike 3. A couple of strikeouts here for Kluber in the third.
That last one was a real good pitch. I don't know if Andy Dirks thought it was off the plate or not. We'll take a look at it, but it was a real nice cut fastball by Kluber at 89 miles an hour.
Here is Miguel Cabrera. Base on balls in the first, did not score. Base hit to right field here with 2 outs. Cabrera going the other way. He's going to bring up Prince.
Prince Fielder stands right on top of the plate, and because he stands right on top of the plate, he's been getting hit quite a bit lately. As a matter of fact, he's been hit in the last 3 games, one by Thornton, one by Sale, and then today by the starter Kluber of the Cleveland Indians. Like getting stung by a mosquito for Prince.
And he looks at ball 1. Now, the one thing I've noticed about Prince, it could be 900 degrees out. He's still going to wear the sleeves. That must be a comfort thing for him. Ball high, 2-0 the count. They play the shift on for Prince. They have only one defender to the left of second base. Two out single by Cabrera here in the third. Tigers down 2-1. Swing and a miss. Kluber had retired 6 in a row since giving up a run in the first inning, but Cabrera has stopped that string with a single here in the bottom of the third. Fielder sends it high in the air. Right center field got under this one. Brantley has it settle into the glove. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Top of the 4th inning here at the ballpark. And time now for the Farmers Insurance report card. Head to head here at Comerica Park. You look back since 2009, and the Tigers have absolutely controlled the Cleveland Indians on their home field.
Yeah, they have.
First pitch is rolled foul down the first base line off the bat of Casey Kochman. Kochman starts it off, and he'll be followed by Ezekiel Carrera and then Jack Hanahan. Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2 on the slick fielding Casey Kochman, who last year had himself a pretty good season offensively. At 306 with Tampa, but this year 233 coming in. And the 0-2. Little chopper back toward the mound. Sanchez will throw him out. 1 gone.
Hey fans, here's your chance to win 2012-2013 Detroit Red Wings 10-game plan. Log on to foxsportsdetroit.com and enter for a chance to win. The 10-game plan giveaway is courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit, the Detroit Red Wings. See foxsportsdetroit.com for complete rules and details.
Here's Ezekiel Carrera. Indians today have 5 hits. Tigers have only 3 as we play in the 4th. Ball high, 1-0. Offered the bunt, and a strike is called by Gary Cederstrom. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carrera, who was called up from AAA when the Indians designated Johnny Damon for assignment back in early August. There's a strike called, 1-2.
They were struggling from an offensive standpoint at that time, and they are still struggling to score runs.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Johnny Damon didn't get picked up by anybody I have not read yet. Have you read his name?
I have not, and I'm somewhat surprised by that. I don't know. I mean, Johnny didn't have the best of years this season with the Indians, but there's some value for a veteran guy like that, I would think. There's a base hit. 1 on, 1 out. .66 now for Sanchez. Only guy not available today for the Tigers out of the pen is Valverde. Jack Hanahan singled in the second. 0-1 on Hanahan. Hanahan is a Minnesota native. In fact, he played his high school ball for a season with Joe Mauer. He just got back. And a bouncing ball to first. Prince has it there. They call it foul. Tigers swung it around the infield just in case. Foul ball, 0-2.
It's one of the things that you're taught to do as a first baseman. You don't know whether this ball was hit off his foot or not initially. And the call wasn't made before the ball got to Prince's glove, so Prince just finished the play, and it didn't even look like it hit its foot. Looked like a nice sail job there by Hanahan. I saw a lot of dirt there.
I didn't even see him sell it. It was just called immediately, and it certainly looked like it hit nothing but dirt. Hanahan waiting on an 0-2. Lifted in the air toward left. On the run, Dirks going to the corner to make the catch. 2 gone. Bring a Lou Marson, the number 9 hitter. .236 average for Marson. Ball 1 missing outside. Marson bounced out 6-3 his first time up. Indians today have out hit the Tigers 6-3 and they lead it 2-1. Runner goes. Vila's throw, not in time. Stolen base for Carrera, his 5th. So the Indians get another man in a scoring position.
Tigers pitchers need to take the same approach that the Toronto Blue Jays or the Los Angeles Angels are in town. Teams that really like to run. Kansas City Royals would also fall into that category because they were giving Avila a lot more time to throw when those teams were visiting Comerica Park or even on that completed road trip last stop through Kansas City.
Lacy fly ball to right field. Bosch camping under it and no damage done. No runs, a hit, 1 man left.
pitch. It's how Corey Kluber attacked Delmon the first time up. First pitch was inside, and then every pitch after that was away. And on the 3-2 breaking ball down and away, Delmon Young drives in his 9th run in the last 4 games here at Comerica Park. And that's one of the reasons why Delmon has been so effective. He has really had some good plate appearances, seeing lots of pitches, not being pull happy and driving the ball the opposite direction.
9-game hitting streak now for Delmon Young. He'll be followed by Bosch and then Peralta. Delmon's longest hitting streak of the year is a 10-gamer that he had in July. On his way to matching that. Kluber a couple of scoreless innings after giving up a run in the first, and he misses outside to Delmon. 2 runs, 6 hits for Cleveland today. Tigers a run on 3 hits. Young looks at a ball inside, run into 2-0. That's in there. 2 balls, 1 strike.
When you're going good as a hitter, it seems like you're always in these types of counts. And a 2-0, 2-1, where Delmon sits right now. Should get a really good pitch to hit.
3-1 on Young. Bosch, then Peralta here in the 4th. That is a fair ball down the right field line.
Stop it.
Delmon on his way around first. He's headed to second. Chu had a little trouble digging it up in right field, and Young has a double to go with his single.
Well, the Cleveland Indians, they really haven't changed how they're going to attack Delmon. The first time up, we showed you that every single pitch, with the exception of one that Kluber threw, was in the outside part of the plate. They attacked the outside part of the plate again today, and Delmon just kind of taking what they give him.
Going to bring up Bosch now with the tying run out there at second base. Nobody out. He bounced into a 5-4-3 double play back in the first. Bosch homered the ball game last night against Chris Sale over the center field wall. It was his first home run since July the 22nd, when he went homering on back-to-back nights.
You don't see many go over that center field wall.
.420 out there to dead center. Here's the 0-1. Big swing. 0-2 on Bosch. He's hit safely in his last 3. He's knocked in 52 this year. But behind in the count here, 0-2 to Corey Kluber. Ball high, 1-2. The Indians got Kluber from the San Diego Padres. He was involved in a 3-team deal at the trading deadline 2 years ago. Originally a pretty high draft choice of the Padres, 4th round in 2007. Driven to center field. Brantley coming on, drops, base hit. Delmon is going to try and get to third, and he will. He got about halfway, turned back to second base, and then went back to third. It all worked out in the end.
It's a productive at-bat for Brennan Bosch with a runner on second base, nobody out. Your job is to get him over to third base. Delmon wasn't sure whether Brantley was going to catch that ball or not, and then once Delman decided that that ball was going to drop and then he started for third, I thought Brantley was going to throw him out.
That's going to bring up Peralta now with first and third. And still nobody out here in the fourth. Tigers down by a run. Johnny bounced out back in the second. And he drives one in the air down the left field line. That ball is going toward the corner, and that ball is up against the wall. One run scores. They're going to hold him to a single as Bosch stops at second, and it's a 2-2 ball game.
Not quite sure what Brennan was doing here from first base, but usually when a ball is hit like this down the line and it has this much air underneath it, if you're the base runner from first base, you can go all the way to second base. And if it's caught, then you simply have to retreat to get back to first base. But if the ball hits the wall as it did, then you're able to get to third base.
Well, Johnny picks up another RBI, number 55 on the season. Still nobody retired in this inning. 3 consecutive hits for Detroit. 2-2 game. And Avila looks at strike one.
Well, let's take a look and see what Brennan was doing here. It looked like he got himself a late break, but usually on a ball hit like that, you can almost be to second base. And even if the left fielder catches it, you can still get back home to first.
Avila struck out his first time up. And he sends a ground ball foul. Tigers get their first run since the first inning. Double by Young, single by Bosch, single by Peralta. Ground ball to second. This should be a double play. 4, 6, and 3. 2 gone. Runner at third. Timed out for the AT&T trivia question this afternoon. Who are the only other pair of Tigers pitchers to strike out 200 batters each in a season? The Tigers, of course, have Scherzer and Verlander, who are the only other pair of Tigers pitchers to do that in a single season. That is your question. 2 gone now. And a swing and a miss by Omar. A big double play ball induced by Kluber. That leaves a runner at third now with 2 outs. After the Tigers had tied it up. Second double play he's gotten in this game. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. A little bit off the plate. 2-1 on Infante. Swing and a miss. Make it 2-2 on Omar.
That's a good pitch there by Kluber. And knowing that Omar's sitting on a fastball on a 2-1 count. And he threw a slider and he located it down. And Omar was already committed in swinging the stick. You can see the nice tight spin on that baseball.
Kluber, born in Jacksonville, Florida. He's 26 years old. Again, this Indians pitching staff dead last in the American League in team ERA. Here's the 2-2. Soft line drive toward the shortstop, and Cabrera will hauled it in to end the inning. However, the Tigers able to tie it up. Delvin Young got it started with a double.
Excited about the Tigers sweeping the White Sox right out of town. Jim Leyland also took some time to enjoy the moment last night. He got a good call from a good buddy, Tony La Russa. And Tony said, Jim, I know you're not the kind of guy that likes to sit and think about the success you've had, but this is one of those series you really need to enjoy. Jim said he took about 30 minutes. He enjoyed it. He went to bed and woke up this morning and started thinking about this Cleveland series. But Mario and Rod, something very interesting I learned about Jim Leyland and the coaches. Do you know that a half an hour before the game, they have a little ice cream social? I'm not even kidding you. I found that out today. And I guess Leland likes those little Nutter Butter, you know, the little cones with the
Nutty Buddy.
Yeah, Nutty Buddies. He has one of those before every game. I think that's unbelievable. So apparently he is enjoying.
You're making that up, aren't you, Shannon?
I'm not making this up. I thought he was joking, and I looked at him and was like, really? Ice cream? Okay, well, that's what he likes to do. So he's enjoying even before the game, apparently.
Well, that's awesome. We all have our superstitions, I suppose.
Ice cream social, huh?
Well, can you imagine the coaches walking into Leland's office before every game? Eating Nutty Buddies. Whatever works.
I'm sure they're going over a little pregame strategy as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but a good ice cream cone on a daily basis won't hurt you.
Well, ice cream cone today would be lovely.
That it would. 2-2 is our score as we play here in the 5th inning. Shin-Soo Choo leads it off. It'll be Choo, Kipnis, and Cabrera.
Jim Leyland and Tony La Russa are best friends. And they have been best friends since La Russa had Jim on his staff in Chicago in the early 80s. As a matter of fact, Tony La Russa is quite the mentor to Jim Leyland.
3 balls, 2 strikes. You know, Skip was talking today about how this is the time of the year that even after a big win like last night, you wrestle over lineup decisions and who you want to play going forward. And it's the time of the year where you don't get a whole lot of sleep because these games are so pressure packed. As Choo gets a walk. And the leadoff man is aboard here in the 5th. That'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Skipper, of course, deciding to give Jackson the day off today, which is only the 2nd time Jackson has not started since coming off the disabled list. There are just some guys in your lineup that it's really difficult to sit down.
He's so valuable. He's having a career year offensively, and defensively there's no one better in center field in the American League.
Ball missing outside to Kipnis.
So defense alone, it's tough to take him out, especially on a day when Anibal pitches, because Anibal is a fly ball pitcher.
Well, the Indians so far have had at least 1 base runner in every inning. Sanchez has given up 2 runs on 6 hits.
His entire outfield today, for the most part, did not play defensively last night. Brennan Bosch was a DH.
Vila will throw it down to second and got him. I didn't think Alex thought he was going to go, and then when he saw he went, he just gunned him down.
Yeah, that's a mistake on Chu's part. They're too aggressive. They really know where to go. But the Tigers will take it. This ball did not go very far away from Avila. It hit the umpire right on the leg, and Chu, he thought the ball was going to get back to the screen, and that's the last thing he saw before being tagged out.
Strike called on Kipnis, 2-1.
Yeah, but the Tigers have fresh legs in the outfield all the way around, with Dirks not starting the last couple of days, nor Berry, and Bosch, the DH, the last 2 days.
Swing and a miss. Fresh legs are awfully important here in September, and that's why Jackson was given a day. And he'll go up against the Indians the next 2 in the series. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Kipnis is out, and the complexion of this inning has changed quite a bit. 2 away. Second strikeout for Sanchez. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. Singled in a run back in the third, briefly giving Cleveland a 2-1 lead. And that was a 12-pitch at bat. Drops down a bunt. Going to roll a foul, though.
It's a good idea. With 2 outs, he has the ability to steal a base, and Cabrera was playing deep at third base.
Cabrera in that at bat fouled off 6 straight pitches prior to the RBI single. Certainly one of the best, if not the best, at bat of the day.
Sanchez has a lot of life on his fastball today. The best fastball we've seen since he has come over and worn a Tigers uniform. He has thrown one at 97, several at 95. That last heater right there by Sanchez was 94 miles an hour. So one thing Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, has been encouraging him to do a lot more of, establishing that fastball.
Ripped to right field, base hit.
Change piece there.
2-out single. Well, it's the unofficial end of summer here, and so it's time for today's Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question. Which of these 4 is your favorite part of fall, which is right around the corner? Is it A, the baseball playoffs, B, football, C, the weather changing, or D, for you parents out there, the kids going back to school?
Well, you already know what the answer the parents is going to say.
You can text ACE, then a space to A, B, C, or D to 37338. Weather?
No, get them little crumb snatchers out the house.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of children referred to as crumb snatchers. Strike 1 on Michael Brantley.
Your mom never called you crumb snatcher when you were little?
No. She never did. But I like it.
You can't wear them white shoes no more either.
No.
It's Labor Day.
A couple of crumb snatchers in my household. 0-1 on Brantley. Do you own a pair of white shoes?
I do. I have a pair of...
I'm not counting tennis shoes now.
They're semi-tennies.
Are they?
No white shoes, though. They're semi-tennis shoes. They're leather, though.
Now, did you own a pair back in the 70s? No?
Negative, but I had a pair of platforms, though.
That was my next question.
I did. I'm not even going to lie.
Who didn't? I did, too. They're pretty hideous. 1-1 on Brantley. Way inside. 2-1 the count.
Oh, but did you have the double knit suit to match the platform?
No, that I did
Sunday?
not. No, I had the corduroy jeans, though.
Oh, okay.
70s fashion was pretty bad.
Hope it never comes back.
I know it. It will, sooner or later. Now the 2-1. And he's in there for a strike. 2-2 on Brantley.
That's the one thing that Sanchez could do pretty much when he wants to do it. He can throw his changeup or his slider over the plate with regularity. He has great command with his secondary pitches. And I've already told you that Jeff Jones has encouraged him to throw more fastballs, which makes those secondary pitches even more effective. Brantley tough to strike out. He doesn't strike out all that much. He strikes out about once every 10 at-bats, which ranks third in the American League behind Revere and Ichiro Suzuki of the New York Yankees.
And Sanchez has struck out only 2 in this game.
It's a big lead, and by Cabrera over at first base. Huge lead, as a matter of fact.
And there he goes. And it's fouled away.
They are running at will today.
They've been very aggressive. That aggressiveness cost them here in the 5th when Chu tried to advance on a ball that scooted about 2 feet away from Avila.
Well, Tom Wiedenbauer is the first base coach for the Cleveland Indians, and he has a stopwatch in his hand. So they are timing every delivery by Sanchez to home plate. And by those readings, it's telling them we can steal today.
You saw Smiley warming up in the Detroit bullpen. 3-2 the count goes on Brantley. And Sanchez thrown a lot of pitches today, 94, and we're only in the 5th. Runner goes on 3-2, and it's grounded to the right side. Infante will pick it up and throw him out. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, 1 left. Tigers baseball this afternoon presented by Bell Tire.
To get a lot more comfortable with Omar Infante at second base. And let me explain what I'm talking about. You have Prince right here, and you have Infante over here. And then you have Brantley in the batter's box. Brantley's going to roll over one and hit one to the right side of the infield. Prince takes 2 steps to the right, and then he realizes, you know what, I know the range of Infante now. He's going to make this play, so I need to get to the bag, which he does. And that's a much easier play than it is for Prince to field that ball and then hit Sanchez, the pitcher, on the run trying to cover the bag.
So nicely done, and it stays a 2-2 game as Barry leads it off.
Tigers have had an assortment of second basemen this year, and Prince has had to learn the range of each and every one of those guys, and it varies the range on those particular players.
Barry fouls it back 1-1. Seems like Omar's range is really good.
Omar is a good athlete, and he's a shortstop by trade, so he has those shortstop feet playing that second base position, just as Santiago.
Barry Dirks and Cabrera facing Kluber here in the 5th inning. That's in there for a strike. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Indians. 2 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. And Quinton takes it low and away. 2-2 the count on Barry, who had just 2 starts in his previous 8 games. Quinton out there in center field today, spelling Jackson.
Tough to stay sharp that way, but you have to do the best that you can if you're going to get some opportunities to play at this level.
So what do you do to stay sharp like that?
Well, the extra BP. You have to always come out and take lots of fly balls and make sure you take fly balls off the bat, gain speed. Of course, you get lots of running in. You make sure you stay in good shape.
In the air toward left. Carrera runs it down. 1 away here in the 5th inning. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Angus 3rd Pounder Deluxe. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Here's Andy Dirks. 0 for 2. Fly ball, strikeout. That's in for strike 1. Kluber's pitch count right now at 77. A little bit better shape than Sanchez. Bouncing ball, first base side, fair ball. Kochman, tricky play, and Kluber covers. 2 gone.
While we have a moment here, I'd like to wish one of our colleagues a happy birthday today. That would be Mark Isofano. Mark is one of our producers, and he has the day off today. I talked to him today earlier, and said he's going to hang out by the lake and hoping the kids come over and have a little barbecue and spend some time with his family today.
Happy birthday, Iceman. It's also the birthday of Mason Haddad, who is one of our audio folks here, and he sets us up on a daily basis and
makes us sound good.
Keeps us rolling. So 2 crew members.
Big number for Iceman, though.
5-0.
Ooh.
Make it sound like he's got like a few years of life left. He's only 50.
That's a half a century.
Enjoy it anyway, Iceman. Rod says your days are dwindling. The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. No, we mean that with all sincerity, because those guys have been a big part of what we do on a daily basis.
He's one of the longest tenured employees at Fox Sports Detroit.
He is. I remember my first broadcast. Mark Isofano produced. Remembered it like yesterday. So he helped me through the transition. I really appreciate that.
All of our guys do wonderful work. All the producers and directors. Everybody that contributes to us getting on the air every day.
One ball, 2 strikes. Did he go? It appears he did. And he did. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kluber here in the 5th. That means we go to the 6th, and we are still tied at 2. Going well, and for the Tigers, it's been kind of a sleepy start to this game. Anibal Sanchez has thrown a lot of pitches in this game so far, Rod, but he has kept the opponent to just 2 runs.
Well, Cleveland's struggling right now, and if Sanchez continues to keep them at bay, then there's no doubt that the Tigers' offense will perk up and score some runs because they've been playing real good baseball here.
How about Delman Young, another RBI hit in this game? I mean, this guy has just been absolutely white hot.
9 RBIs in 4 games here on this current homestand, and everything for the most part is the opposite way. Every now and then, when you try to go inside, he'll hit that ball to left field, but his approach has been outstanding.
And so the Tigers trying to get the offense going here this afternoon and take game 1 in this series after that really, really big sweep against the Chicago White Sox the last 3 days. But the Indians, a formidable opponent here this afternoon despite their struggles. Russ Kanzler is leading things off as we head to the 6th, and he lines one to left field. It's another hit for Cleveland.
That's the one thing with a guy like Kanzler that's as strong as he is, and we talked about his numbers in AAA. You can't allow these guys to extend their arms. That's a ball that's out over the plate, and he drills it to left field.
It'll be the 8th hit of the game now for the Indians. Sanchez's numbers have been a little bit better over his last 3 starts. Opponents are hitting .380 over his first 4. Darren Downs is now heating up in the Detroit bullpen. Kochman stepping in. Thought about it, but takes strike 1 instead. 0-1.
Since we're giving birthday shout outs, we need to give one to Kevin Rand. I've been told it's his birthday today.
Really?
Head athletic trainer for the Detroit Tigers. So happy birthday to you as well, Kevin.
That's 3 of them.
That is 3 today.
Now, did your source reveal what number birthday it was for Kevin?
They did not reveal Kevin's.
Okay.
I'm sure Kevin is like me, probably stopped counting at 29.
And me too. Happy birthday anyway, Kevin. Indians have gotten the leadoff man on in 3 of the last 4 innings. So far, only 1 of them has scored.
And Sanchez is going to need some help today from his bullpen. Obviously, the next pitch that he's going to throw will be 100 here this afternoon. But that bullpen is fresh. They got a lot of arms down there right now, and there's some good arms down there.
Yeah, not only fresh, but it's deep now with the call-ups as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2 on Casey Kochman. Carrera waiting on deck as the Tigers today go for their 73rd win of the year. Way outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. .102 now for Sanchez.
And more than likely, Kanzler standing on first base will be on the move on the 3-2 pitch with nobody out. Kochman has grounded into 13 double plays this year, and Manny probably wants to stay out of a double play.
Runner goes, and it's lined to first, right at Prince. Thank you very much.
That's how things are going right now for the Cleveland Indians. You start the runner because you want to stay out of a double play if anything's hit on the ground. And Kochman hits one right at Prince with Kanzler on the move, and it's a double play.
And you also know that Kochman doesn't strike out all that often, so it certainly was the correct call. But you can't predict that. Prince 2 steps, tags the bag, 2 gone. Here is Ezequiel Carrera. Ground ball to second. That's an easy play there for Infante. And just like that, the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. Here come the Tigers. And two back of those Yankees in the American League East, trying to win their 75th game of the year. Buck Showalter has him playing in high gear now, heading down the stretch here in September.
Buck Showalter, no doubt, will get serious consideration for Manager of the Year in the American League, along with Bob Melvin of the Oakland Athletics and Robin Ventura, who just left town with the Chicago White Sox.
Here is Fielder to start things off in the bottom of the sixth. It'll be Prince, then Delmon Young, and Brennan Bosch. Fielder this afternoon hit by a pitch, and he also flied out. The 15th time Prince was hit this season. That came back in the first inning against Kluber. And a wave and a miss.
Kluber has not been bad. 4 strikeouts. He's only walked 1. He's only given up 2 earned runs, and that's to a really good offensive club here. And seeing the Tigers for the very first time.
Another big swing, 0-2. Fielder broke the tie with Kevin Youkilis and Josh Willingham for the most hit by pitch at bats with his 15th.
All 3 of those guys stand right on top of the plate.
And the 0-2. Tigers have 6 hits against Kluber in this game. And Delmon has 2 of them, single, double, and an RBI. Now the 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three here against the Tribe to wrap up this homestand. Then it's on to the West Coast. They'll take on the Angels, into Chicago, and then to Cleveland. Soft line drive caught. That's Asdrubal Cabrera hauling it in. 1 gone.
Hey fans, the Tigers host the Minnesota Twins Friday, September 21st at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans receive a set of Detroit Tigers luggage tags. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Here's Delmon Young. Single, double, run scored. Knocked in a run in the first. And now a 9-game hitting streak. 0-1 on Delmon.
And they continue to pitch Delmon away. His first 2 times up today, base hits the opposite direction. And quietly, Jim Leyland really doesn't have that issue of who's batting behind Prince Fielder anymore.
Tap to third base. Hanahan has it. Well, he was mixing and matching for a while there because really nobody was getting it done consistently.
He was using Bosch, he's used Avila, he has used Peralta, Andy Dirt. It's been a revolving door.
Last 11 games at 5 spot, and it hasn't been all Delmon, but it's mostly been Delmon.
Yeah, most of the damage by Delmon.
439.
Bosch has occupied it once or twice, as has Johnny Peralta.
Here's Bosch, 1 for 2. I'm not sure which home run was more impressive last night. The one that Bosch hit over 420 to dead center, or the one that Delmon picked off the dirt and yanked over the wall for what turned out to be the game-winning home run. The 2 big swings the Tigers had last night.
They both were nice.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, when you think about the one that Bosch hit, and Chris Sale's only given up 2 homers to lefties this year, and Bosch has hit both of them.
It's foul back, 1-2. Cody Allen, Tony Sipp heating up in the Cleveland bullpen.
And Bosch got the start against a difficult left-hander the night before that in Francisco Liriano.
He tripled against him, too.
He did.
The 1-2 is popped up foul, back out of play. Jim Leyland has watched his team erase a 3-game deficit in the span of a single series against the White Sox after losing 3 in a row against KC. Again, the 1-2 popped up foul and back out of play. And again, Leyland talking about how funny the game of baseball can be when on paper you're expected to beat a Kansas City team. And you lose 3 in a row and then come right back home and take 3 from the team in first place.
That's why Jim never gets too high after a win and never too low after a loss. You have to stay on that even keel. And the players have to do as much.
That's lifted in the air, right side of the infield. Kipnis, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Kluber. 6 in the books. Still 2-2.
Game today, soaking in their last game before most schools start tomorrow. And the Tigers players, they remember it was not that long ago for a lot of them going back to school. For Quentin Berry, there was one thing in particular he dreaded.
I hated putting my binder together because I had to put all those little dividers and stuff in there and not all them periods that I had to have. But I also was excited, though, to get my new outfits out because we went shopping all summer looking for the greatest outfits. So that's what I remember the most is having my #1 outfit ready. But I hated putting them dividers together, man. I didn't like it.
I'm a lot like Quentin Berry. I loved going back to school shopping. Mario and Rod, both of you, your favorite thing about going back to school?
Well, my favorite thing was I didn't have a favorite thing about going back to school. I hated it. What about you, Rod?
Well, I was with Quentin and Shannon. I like putting them duds on.
Your #1 outfit is
my #1 outfit. I was ready. I had it ready a week ahead.
Shannon, what about you?
I liked going back to school shopping. It was with the dork that really liked going back to school. Not a dork. For the kids at home, school is cool. I liked it. I got a lot of teacher friends. They're excited about going back. I don't know. It was fun to see all your friends because in the summer, some families go up north. Some people are on vacation. It's kind of nice just to get back into the groove of things.
All right, Shannon, we appreciate it. As Darren Downs takes over now to Wallside Windows pitching change. And Brent Lillibridge will pinch hit here. By the way, the poll question, favorite thing about summer coming to an end, 48% going back to school.
A lot of parents got them computers cranked up today.
They're weighing in heavily. One strike on Lillibridge.
If their children only knew.
So Downs takes over for Sanchez, who threw 104 pitches. There's a ball low, and the count evens on Lillibridge now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marston will follow. Fouled off. Lillibridge has bounced around a little bit. Boston, Chicago, now Cleveland.
Anytime you get a chance, if you're an opposing team and you're playing the Cleveland Indians, if you have left-handers as a starter or if you have left-handers in your bullpen, your chances increase greatly at winning against them because you have left-handers. They have struggled mightily this year against left-handed pitching. There are times this year where we would start a right-handed pitcher and Manny Acta would have all 9 of the members in his lineup would be left-handed batters.
2-2 on Lillibridge.
They are 14-31 this year against left-handed pitchers.
Swing and a miss. Meanwhile, Downs continues to pitch well. 1 gone. Darren really has been a nice surprise.
Well, when you think about the fact that he's getting the ball here in a tie game in the 7th inning with all the other pieces that they have in that bullpen, that kind of speaks volumes.
Now Lou Marson. He is 0 for 2. In there for a strike. Bouncing ball left side over the glove of Cabrera. There's a base hit for Lou Marson. You had a chance to think about that AT&T trivia question here this afternoon. We're talking strikeouts and Tigers pitchers. The question again was, who are the only other pair of Tigers pitchers to strike out 200 batters each in a season?
McClain and Lolich got to be part of it, don't they?
Oh, it's Lolich and Coleman. There you go. 71, 72, and 73. Joe Coleman, Mickey Lolich. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. It was the 9th hit of the game now for Cleveland. Choo looks at ball 1.
Tigers have the best 3-4 combination in the sport as we speak, and they have the top 2 flamethrowers as well in Verlander and Scherzer. Pretty nice quartet.
Runner goes. Avila's been throwing all day. This time it's a little bit late.
They are running at will, and it doesn't matter whether it's a left-hander Downs on the mound or if it was Sanchez who started the game. And Marson's catcher.
He's 4 for 4 in steals. He got himself in a scoring position. Meanwhile, it's 2-0 on Shin-Soo Choo.
It's a dangerous count here for Downs if you decide to throw Choo a fastball. And he is one of your better fastball hitters in this league.
Ball 3. Kipnis waiting on deck. And he walked him. So the Indians now have runners at first and second with one out. They've had a hit in every inning so far, all singles. Chu walking for the second time in this game. Brian Villarreal in the Detroit bullpen. Kipnis now trying to give his team the lead. And it's in for strike one. Kipnis a single, a pop up, and a strikeout in this game. Here's the 0-1. Line to left field, sinking and dropping, a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base, and they are loaded up now for the Indians. It's still only one out. It's going to bring Jim Leland out, and he has made the signal to the bullpen.
Nice job of Kipnis staying in on that breaking ball, just flipping it the opposite way.
So with the bases loaded, Tigers go to the bullpen, and we will take a break. So far, if you tuned in late, a pass ball charge to Alex Avila got a run in the first for the Tigers, or the Indians rather, but the Tigers able to tie it up when Delman Young does it again.
Well, it seems like Delman's right in the middle of everything that Detroit does from an offensive standpoint. And Asdrubal Cabrera, he had an outstanding at-bat. He played it the second run of the game for the Cleveland Indians, but then Johnny Peralta was able to counter with a single in the fourth inning, and we stand at tied at 2.
And that's been it. And so the Indians have them loaded, though, and Brian Villarreal comes out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Brian has had a tremendous year this year. Really his first full year in the major leagues. 59 strikeouts and 41 in the third innings pitched against 19 walks and just a 2.118 ERA. But that doesn't tell the whole story regarding his numbers. He has inherited 16 base runners this year, 7 of which have scored. That is a very high number of inherited base runners that Villarreal has allowed to score.
And the ability to strike a batter out, Leland brings in the right-hander to face the lefty and took the lefty out of the game.
And he has inherited 3 more base runners here in the 7th.
That's Asdrubal Cabrera, 2 singles and RBI, 2-2 game. We're in the 7th. Here's the 1-0. And it's in for a strike, 1-1. 98 from Villarreal. Dribble split.
I didn't know we used that for the opposition.
Apparently so. It's something new for branching out. Equal time. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
99 by you.
Villarreal with 9 strikeouts in his last 7 innings of work.
Might be too risky to call for a slider here, and because it'll be tough for a beat of the block. But another fastball up in the strike zone, it might be the pitch of choice here, especially if it's 98, 99 miles an hour.
In the air, foul, back out of play.
A little higher. Maybe you'll get that swing and miss.
Two runs on 10 Indians hits today. 2 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. They are loaded up. High fly ball center field. Berry backing up. This will get a run in as Marson tags at third. He will score. Throw comes into second base. Not in time. All 3 runners move up. Asdrubal Cabrera gets his second RBI of the afternoon.
Well, Jim brought Villarreal out of that bullpen hoping that he could get a strikeout, and he almost got himself a strikeout. Let's look at the pitch sequence to Cabrera. Most of the stuff is hard stuff, and it's all 97 miles an hour and above. And then once he gets 2 strikes on him, he just doesn't get the fastball up high enough. It's right down the middle at about thigh high, and that allowed Cabrera to catch up to it and drive in a run.
Now Michael Brantley with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Brantley had a rip and he fouled it back. 2 of the 3 RBIs today belong to Asdrubal Cabrera.
And here's the situation with the base open in the right-handed batter in the on-deck circle, Kanzler. You got to be careful. You can't let Brantley drive in a couple runs here. You just can't do it. Not with that open base down at first base.
Breaking ball missing. 1 ball 1 strike.
But it's also a very difficult decision for Jim Leland to put up 4 fingers here for Villarreal, because every now and then Villarreal can get a little erratic in the strike zone.
Here's the 1-1. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Cabrera hauls it in, and that is that. They get a run, though, to go ahead. The RBI by Asdrubal Cabrera has now given the Cleveland Indians a 3-2 advantage here this afternoon. And in special recognition of the military, USAA now presents this rendition of God Bless America. Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Back here at the ballpark. Hope your Labor Day weekend is going well. 3-2 is our score. The Indians have forged ahead in this one. And we say hello to you, too. Apparently there's free face painting at the ballpark today for the youngsters. Cody Allen, the new pitcher now for the Indians. He's going to face the bottom three. And a ball missing high to Johnny Peralta as we get things started here in the bottom of the 7th. Tigers have been out hit in this one 10-6, but they trail by just 1 run. Ground ball foul, third base side. And speaking of third base, Brent Lillibridge stays in the game to play third. One ball, one strike. Corey Kluber goes the first 6, giving up 2 runs on 6 hits. Ball inside. Indians, like most other teams in the big leagues, guys coming out of the back end of their pen, started out at 95 and it just gets higher and higher. Ball missing. 3-1. Here is the Jimmy John's leaderboard, and we talk about the innings pitched since the All-Star break. How about the Cleveland pen?
That's a lot. 164 2/3, but it is nothing compared to what Colorado is going through out there.
Oh my goodness. 207 innings out of their pen since the break. 3-2. Allen's up here in the big leagues after being selected in last year's draft in the 23rd round. High Point University in North Carolina.
That sounds like an academic school.
Popped up. Middle of the infield. Cabrera. One gone.
Well, all schools are academic schools, but it sounds like High Point might be a little bit more emphasis placed on academics.
Kind of like West Point.
Yeah.
Here is Alex Avila. Alex in this game 0 for 2, hit into a double play in his last at bat. Low ball 1.
I read where yesterday Avila was not playing in the game. Gerald Laird caught Verlander last night, but Avila took a lot of extra batting practice yesterday with Toby Harrah and also Lloyd McClendon, and trying to rediscover that swing that he had last year.
Well, it's a swing a lot of times, Rod, that you're surprised ever goes into a slump because it's compact, it's short, and it's potent.
Yeah, he very rarely is he off balance. He has a really nice stride. But for whatever reason, and he's at 243 this year with 7 homers and just 38 driven in.
Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Threw the fastball by him, 2-1.
Nice weight transfer, just came up empty. Allen does have a good firm fastball. Most of the ones that he's thrown since coming in the game have been 95 miles an hour.
Strike called on the inside part of the play. 2-2 on Avila. Infante will be next. Cleveland with 10 hits today, all of them singles, and they've parlayed that into 3 runs as Tony Sipp continues to warm up. And he got him. Strike 3.
He's thinking too much right now. That's for sure.
2 gone. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game. That is brought to you by Miller Lite. Nice warm afternoon here at the ballpark. Fans enjoying Miller Time. 3-2 Indians lead.
Looks like the one guy on the right had a little bit bigger than one, and then his buddy.
Here's Infante. He looks at the ball 1-0. You're going to go, you might as well go big. Omar 0 for 2, ground ball line out. Two and 0 the count, so Cody Allen again falls behind.
Today would be a perfect day for one of those, that's for sure.
Fouled straight back, 2-1. There's Quentin Berry waiting on deck. Q has scored one of the 2 Tigers runs in this game. Fouled away again. 2-2. Tomorrow it's Porcello and Masterson. A couple of night games to close out this series. Then we're going to have to pack for a 10-game road trip.
This time of the year?
Yep. Afraid to break the news to you. Ubaldo Jimenez will be going in the Wednesday game. That one just missed 3-2. That's pretty close.
Yes, it was. Gary Cedarstrom very easily could have went up with the right hand on that last pitch.
Three-two pitch is ball 4, and so Infante is the tying run. He's aboard. Allen issuing the 2-out walk to the number 9 hitter. That's going to bring up Quentin Berry. "15 of the 16 hits by both ball clubs today are singles. And Quentin has one of those. An infield hit back in the first. He stole a base, scored a run. Inside, 1-0. Strike called on the outer edge, 1-1. That walk, by the way, to Infante snaps a string of 10 consecutive Tigers that had gone down in a row. And that one appeared to be a little bit outside. Runner back. Tigers have not scored since getting a run in the 4th on the Peralta RBI single off the wall and left. They tied the game at 2, and then the Indians got a run in the top of the 7th inning. So pop-up foul back out of play. 1-2 on Berry. Q trying to get on base. Dirks would be next. And then, of course, the big lumber for the Tigers. Cabrera, fielder, lurking. And Allen's 1-2 with the runner going. Throw down to second is in time, and Infante is thrown out. Marson nailed him with a perfect throw. For the Tigers, no runs, a walk. Nobody left. 7 in the books. Indians still lead by 1. Young continues to swing the bat in his last 9. He's hitting at a .455 clip. Delman this afternoon has a couple of hits. Anibal Sanchez, his last 3, 19 2/3 innings, and his ERA in that span is 0.92. Asdrubal Cabrera, a couple of RBIs, including the go-ahead RBI today. And meanwhile, Brian Villarreal is still out there for the Tigers as we head to the 8th inning. Indians trying to build down their 1-run lead.
While we have a moment, let me remind you that tomorrow night there will be more baseball as the Tigers continue their series with the Indians. Coverage begins at 6:30. That's with Tigers Live. Tigers baseball tomorrow at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
So Villarreal ready to go to work as we head to the 8th. Russ Kanzler will lead things off. Kanzler, Kochman, and then Carrera. 1 for 3 today, singled back in the 6th. And Kanzler was also at the plate when Avila was charged with a pass ball back in the 1st. That allowed the first run of the game to score. Ball 1 to Kanzler. One ball and 1 strike. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report of the Indians. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. 0-12 record when they don't have an extra base hit. Today they have 10 hits, all singles. Outside. 10 singles in the game, and when they don't have one for extra bases, they don't win. We'll see if that trend continues this afternoon. Meanwhile, it's 2-1 on Russ Kanzler. Three and 1 the count. Both teams without their closers today. Papa Grande, according to Jim Leland, will get the day off, and Chris Perez, the Cleveland closers, on the paternity list. His wife just had a baby, and so he'll be back tomorrow, but not here today, or not available today. Here's the 3-1. Foul tip into the glove. 3-2.
That means that we might see Vinny Pastano closing out the game for Cleveland today if there are still any save situation in the ninth.
We shall see. 3-2 on Russ Kanzler. High fly ball. Left center field. Barry coming over. Quinton is under it. 1 out. Well, remember last year when Al Albuquerque was in the bullpen? He's back in there now, along with Phil Koch. It's a welcome sight.
Amazing Al.
Had some work done on his elbow, missing most of this season. Here's Casey Kochman. Check swing low, 1-0. Kochman lined into a double play, hit an absolute bullet in his last at bat. The Tigers got fortunate. It was hit right at Prince, who just turned to the bag and stepped on it for a double play as they doubled up Kanzler. And he rips another one. This one is foul, well foul this time, 1-1. Kochman otherwise 0 for 3 today. Ground ball and a pop up to go with his line out. Hitting in the low 200s in the second half. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball to second. Gobbled up there by Infante. 2 gone. Here is Ezequiel Carrera. He had one of the 10 Indians hits, a single. He came back in the 4th. In there for strike 1. Esmail Rogers warming up in the Cleveland bullpen. Breaking ball missing inside. Villarreal came on to get the final 2 outs in the 7th. Brian's still out there here in the 8th. Two and 1. Skipper pouring over some numbers. He's known as an old school manager, but he will look at those numbers and check out some of the matchups. And it's popped up. Shallow right field. Infante going back. Barry coming in, and Quinton makes the catch. A 1-2-3 8th inning. Here come the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera to a third in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see if the Tigers can get it going. Down by a run. Well, a lot of the youngsters around the Metro Detroit area spending their last day of summer vacation with the Tigers. And hopefully the Tigers can come through with a comeback win in this one. They're down by a run as we go to the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher is on now for the Indians. That would be Esmil Rogers.
At 33rd game this year for Rogers. He checks in with a very good ERA at 2.40. He's a power pitcher. He's got a big arm. Only 8 walks, 44 strikeouts in 41 and a third innings so far pitched this year out of that bullpen for the Tribe.
Rogers, a member of the Colorado Rockies, was acquired in June for cash considerations. Was 0-2 with an 8 ERA with the Rockies. And so the Tigers have the top of the lineup. It'll be Barry, Dirks, and Cabrera here in the bottom of the 8th. Only 6 hits for Detroit today. They trail 3-2.
We have not seen Quentin attempt to bunt for a base hit here today. Will this be the time that we see him try to get on that way?
Took it inside. He was showing the bunt, but it missed. 1-0.
Even though you get crowded by Lillibridge and also Kochman at first base, if you get it where you want to, and Quentin with his speed can still beat it out, you can't let where they are playing distract you from playing your game.
No sign of it there, and he takes a ball 2-0.
I don't know what Quentin will do here, but for him to get on base is crucial. It may not be a bad time to take 1 strike. That's old school baseball.
He's taking, and it's a strike. 2-1 on Barry. Rogers has allowed just 1 earned run in his last 13 innings of work. He's charged with protecting a 1-run lead in the 8th. In the air, left field. Carrera coming in, 1 gone. Now Andy Dirks. Andy 0 for 3 in this one. 6-game hit streak on the line. He had a really good month of August. 341 last month. Came back from the DL on August 3rd. In there for strike 1. Joe Smith, Tony Sipp. They're warming up. One ball, 1 strike. Tigers have not scored since getting a run in the 4th. Leadoff double by Delman Young, a single by Bosch, and then a single by Peralta.
It seems like every time Miguel Cabrera gets ready to come to the plate, at least this year, Manny Acta has always got Joe Smith up in his bullpen.
Way outside, 2-1.
Don't know if he'll go to him today, not with the numbers that Rogers has posted lately, but he likes to bring him in to face Miguel.
Here's the 2-1. That'll get back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cabrera had a big home run against Joe Smith earlier this year at Progressive Field. Tigers, since getting that run in the 4th inning, have had only 1 base runner. That was the walk to Omar Infante in the 7th. He was thrown out trying to steal that end of the inning. Esmil Rogers brings it home, and it's fouled back out of play. 3-2.
Take a look at Rogers a couple of pitches ago to Dirks. He quick pitched it. It's like he never stopped, which he doesn't really have to if there's nobody on base. Tried to sneak that 95-mile-per-hour fastball by Dirks, and he almost succeeded.
Another foul back out of play.
Of course, if there was a runner on base, that would be a ball. And with Rogers not stopping and coming to a set position. I wonder why more and more pitchers don't do that.
It's a good question, because it would seem to be a really good weapon.
Especially if you got a mid-90s fastball.
3-2. Driven to center field. Hit well. Brantley going back. He'll make the catch in front of the wall.
There is so much room out there in center field. You really have to crush it if you're going to hit it over the center fielder's head. And Brantley was just coasting. He had it all the way.
Here comes a guy that can flick it out over the center field wall.
Especially seventh inning or later. His numbers are off the chain. He and number 28. His partner in crime, Prince Fielder.
Here come the MVP chance again for Miguel. Ball one inside.
That's getting it done.
Single and a walk today for Cabrera. Struck out his last time. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. One ball, one strike. Game was tied at 2 for most of the afternoon until the Indians got a run in the 7th on a sac fly by Asdrubal Cabrera. Tigers hitting with 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. And a bouncing ball to third. Lillibridge diving play, has plenty of time and throws him out. Big play by Brent Lillibridge ends the inning. 8 in the books here at Comerica Park. We go to the 9th. 3-2 try. Or it's a 3-2 lead, I should say, for the Indians as we go to the 9th inning, and the Tigers will go to the bullpen now. And they'll bring out the right-hander Octavio Dotel.
Dotel has been nearly unhittable these days. He's only given up 38 hits in 50 innings pitched, and he comes in throwing that 93, 94 mile per hour fastball. And you very seldom see guys catch up to it. And take a look at those numbers against righties. 182 for right-handers against Octavio. Don't forget, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text that bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
So Dotel will go to work. And he will face Brent Lillibridge. Then Lou Marson, and then Shin-Soo Choo. In a one-run game, 3-2 Indians lead. Ball one from Dotel. 10 hits today for the Indians, 6 for the Tigers. Lillibridge came on as a pinch hitter. Stayed in the game. And just made a nice defensive play to end the bottom of the 8th. Right back up the middle, slow ground ball. Johnny can't get there into center field. Make it 11 hits, another single for the Indians.
Well, you wonder how Manny Acta's going to play this in the 9th inning. Lillibridge on first base has good speed. And will he play for one more run by forcing Marson into bunting the baseball, or will he simply allow Lillibridge to try to steal a base? They've been running at will today.
Marson taking low and away, 1-0.
He appears to be, at least on that first pitch, taking the safe route with the sac bunt by Marson. Steve Smith, he is their third base coach, relaying the signs to Marson.
Choo, Carrera, and Marson have steals today. And again, he looked like he was going to offer to bunt, let it go by. 2-0.
Well, if you're Dotel and you're convinced that Martin is going to bunt the baseball, that's when you usually see the pitchers elevate the fastball, belt buckle or higher, to see if they can get that batter to pop it up.
Popped it up, but back to the screen. 2-1. More action in the Detroit bullpen. Again, it's Albuquerque and Koch warming up. Runner going this time. Swing and a miss. Here comes a throw. High. Not in time.
That time Manny Acta took off the bunt sign and he put the hit and run on sign on, but Lillibridge had such a great jump it didn't really matter that Marson swung right through the pitch. Avila and couldn't throw him out either.
Lillibridge gets his 11th steal. The Indians get another one on the afternoon. Insurance run standing out there at second with nobody out. Fly ball in the air to center field. Runner tagging. Quinton lines it up. Here comes the throw to third base. We may have a play. Nope. A little wide of the bag and move the runner up. One away.
Yeah, Lillibridge way too fast.
Here comes a skipper now. Big run standing at third base with only one out. And Jim will take the baseball. So Dotel will not be able to get through the ninth. They go to the pen. Phil Koch coming in. He step aside. Situation. This, however, is stress-filled. It is 3-2 Cleveland with a runner at third, only one out, and Koch comes in.
Well, Koch has the ability to pitch his way out of situations like this, and that's what they want. They want Phil Koch to pitch a little bit better than he has pitched so far this year, especially down the stretch. They're going to need him.
Since the All-Star break, an ERA of 5.56, and he'll face Chu here with the infield in.
Nothing really wrong with Phil Koch's stuff. The fastball still 94, 95. But it's been his pitch location. And that has been his Achilles heel. He's hung way too many breaking balls.
2 out of 14 against Koch.
Maybe some of those numbers that Leland was looking over.
Here's the 1-0. Slides outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Indians have another lefty on deck, Kipnis. Way outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Would not be shocked if Manny Acta, the manager of the Cleveland Indians, decided to give Chu the green light here, 3-0. Hoping that Phil Koch will lay a fastball right down the middle.
He steps away from a strike. 3-1. Koch's ERA at home has been pretty good, 2.62. A key spot here with the runner at third base and 1 out. 3-2 Indians lead. Almost hit him, and that's ball 4. Chu walks for the 3rd time in this game. Now Kipnis.
And Jim going to relax his defense just a little bit up the middle. With that base on balls to Chu, now the double play is in order, so he backs up Peralta and he backs up Infante. And if Kipnis hits something hard on the ground, that's what they'll try to do, is turn 2. If not, they'll try to come home and get Morrison.
Ball 1.
Actually, that's Lillibridge over at third base.
Kipnis, couple of hits. He has scored a run. Ground ball to first. Prince has it. Thought about coming home. Now he's going to tag the runner. 1 there. Throw back to third. And they've got themselves a rundown. Avila will tag out Lillibridge.
Nice play by Prince.
Oh, man. A double play ends the inning.
This is sweet.
Maybe that'll give the Tigers a lift. Look at the tag here. And a rundown ends up in a double play. Let's get a run for 2.
Lillibridge on third base. Take a look at him. He's going to run down the line. He is going on contact, but he takes a look at Prince Fielder, and Prince now has the ball in his glove. So Lillibridge stops because he knows Prince Fielder's now coming home. And now Prince Fielder, in a very alert manner, he tags Kipnis as he comes by. Now they've got Lillibridge in no man's land, so he gets the ball, and he fires it back to third base. Cabrera now has it. He gets it to Avila, and then it's Avila that finishes him off with the tag here. But just a really nice play by Prince Fielder. There's nothing Lillibridge could do because you're taught if you're on third base in that situation that you're going on contact. So it's a good play for the Tigers.
Well, we'll see how big of a play it turns out to be as Vinny Pistano checks in now for the Indians.
Usually he is the eighth inning guy, and that's why he has 33 holds this year, and that's why their closer, Chris Perez, had so many saves, because Pistano has been outstanding all year long.
First pitch is ball one to Prince Fielder.
But it's a whole different animal when you're trying to get the last 3 outs of the game. This is what he's done in the 8th inning, not the 9th inning.
Fielder, Young, and Bosch here in the bottom of the 9th. And a drive to right field, and it's down. It's going to go to the wall. Chu trying to dig it up. Prince on his way to second, tying run in scoring position.
And Pistano tried to seek a 92-mile-per-hour fastball right by Prince on the inner third of the plate, and Prince was able to pull those hands inside and barrel it up and hit a rocket off that gate in right field. That's the second time in right field we've seen Chu have some issues with the baseball out there.
Here is Delman Young. Swinging a miss. That ball was hit so hard by Fielder that had Chu played that ball off the wall, he might have held him to a single.
For sure.
Now Delman trying to tie it up. He has a single and a double in this game. Here's the 0-1. Little tapper in front of the plate. They're going to get the out at first, and Prince will hold at second, one gone. Now Brennan Bosch. No sooner did you say that the 9th inning is a different animal than Prince just drills one off the wall and right.
It is.
Many 8th inning setup guy has had trouble getting through the 9th. Bosch is 1 for 3. Tigers have been out hit 11-7. They have Fielder at second with 1 out. Fouled off. 0-1 on Brennan. Chris Perez not available today. Paternity list. His wife just gave birth to their child, and so he'll be back tomorrow, but unable to go today. So Pistano trying to close it out. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball and a beauty on the outer edge. 0-2.
Backdoor breaking ball. Pistano started that ball off the plate, and Brennan gave up on it, and it had enough break to it to catch the outside corner.
And he hit him. 0-2. He drilled him.
Trying to get inside, but came too far inside, and that got Brennan right on that right elbow. Actually, a rib cage.
Had him down on the count 0-2. Last thing you wanted to do was put him on base. Here comes Manny Acta.
Well, he's going to try to calm him down.
Tigers now have the winning run on. Peralta has only 1 hit in 7 appearances against Pistano, but the 1 hit is a homer. 3-2 Indians for the time being. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Leadoff double by Fielder, 1 out. Bosch hit by a pitch.
Here's where Brennan Bosch, and you have to get as big a lead as you can, just in case the ball is hit on the ground. You want to make sure their middle infielders do not have an easy time turning a double play.
Ball 1. Grounded foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bosch, as we have said over and over, for a big guy, runs well. So if Johnny finds a gap here, Tigers would have a chance to win this game. One ball, 1 strike. Off the outside part of the plate, 2-1 on Peralta.
Jim's got a lot of speed on his bench, but he's not going to risk taking Prince Fielder out of this game for a pinch runner.
Outside again. 3-1 on Johnny Peralta. Pistano has owned the Tigers this year, but finding the sledding rough here in the 9th. Avila waiting on deck. Grounded foul, make it 3-2.
Has not been one of Alex's better days as a pro, but he could very easily be the hero here today. What Johnny Damon used to preach the 1 year that he wore a Tigers uniform, and he used to talk to all the young kids all the time. It only takes 1 at-bat. 1 at-bat on any given day.
And the 3-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out. Peralta is out of there, and that's out number 2. Well, let's hope you prove to be prophetic, because here comes Avila. And on the hands of Peralta, and Manny Acta likes it. So now Alex, a couple of strikeouts in a double play ball today. 1 for 6 against Pistano. And a ground ball hit to the right side. It's fielded by the second baseman, Kipnis, and they got him at first base.
What a play by Kipnis. Are you kidding me?
Do you believe that?
I do not.
A tremendous play by Jason Kipnis.
I'm thinking, okay, if he gets to it, they're not going to score the run, but he's not going to throw Avila out. And he did.
Credit Pistano for getting there and holding onto the bag. Great play by Kipnis. Ends this game. And the Tigers try and rally here in the 9th, but they will fall by a run. This right now is as good as a play as you will see. Kipnis, a game saver. And Avila out by a step. And that is it for the Tigers. So they will fall here this afternoon. Final score in this one, 3-2 Indians. Back with more.